Welcome back, guys, to another video. Right now the market has gone absolutely crazy. Yesterday we had this big week to the downside, first a week to the upside, then a week to the downside. So I know a lot of you guys want to know how I'm playing this move, so let's jump right into the video. So as I said yesterday, I also covered this during the live stream. I said this entire move up has felt way too easy in my opinion. In previous bull markets, we need to see these big candles, impulsive candles coming to the downside and take out liquidations, and that's basically what we saw yesterday. Not to a very big extent, but nevertheless we saw this very impulsive move to the downside that did take out a lot of late buyers and late leverage buyers. Nevertheless, right now we have close above on the daily, above the 0.5 line here, 0.25 sorry, which looks bullish for me, but I'm gonna soon cover you also a chart where I think there's potential that a top is forming here. By no means I'm calling the top here, but let's just jump into the chart a little bit later in the video. But so far, following my original chart here, we're still having our median line above us. I have this as a 1 2 3 4 5. I do think the fourth wave has formed here, and I do believe we're now going to start a fifth wave here to the upside based on this chart here. We can also come here on the weekly. This is the pitchfork I've been using from the C19 lows to the bull market top to the recent lows. We've been using the modify shift here, and I am very confident that this is going to be the exact top for Bitcoin. Just because I already think we're in very late stages, and even if we get 125 or 130,000, that's going to be we're going to be extremely lucky, or to basically we're gonna be lucky to get there. We're gonna get there, but it's also gonna be a high enough target to finish this entire bull run, in my opinion. But before we jump into the other micro chart, I'm going to cover here shorter time frame because a lot of you guys want to know what happened with my trade. So this was the trade we took in the VIP. We entered down here, and then we spoke about this median line that we called the entire way up. So we were down here, we called for this entire move up to the median line here. As I've said, guys, famous last words, don't underestimate the pitchforks. So in this case, I actually did underestimate my own pitchfork here. We can see we came up to the median line, algorithm started selling, and we had this big dump to the downside. Did I expect such a big dump? Definitely not. Did I warn people about resistance here? Yes, I did. Of course, I wish I'd pulled profits here. I had my stop loss at break even, so luckily I didn't lose on this trade, but it would be nice to have kept riding this trade to the upside. But it's absolutely insane, guys, how accurate this median lines is. So if you know how to use pitchforks, you can see how absolutely crazy they are. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I do think right now the lows are in. I'll show you in a second here on another chart. So if we jump here over to the Blowfin chart on Bitcoin, I actually managed to get in here along. We had a long sitting at around 89,000. If we come here on the VIP Discord, we can see we had here a limit order down at 89,000 that we had placed already in late November. So we had this trade sitting there waiting. So most of the VIP members got filled here exactly on the wick. If we zoom in here on the 4 hour, the idea is basically we're taking from the lows here that we had back in November to the highs. So if you guys remember, we used to look at this fib down here. So we're looking basically at the 0.31 here, but since we made a new high, you need to readjust the Fibonacci to the all-time highs here. You can see once again how Bitcoin came down here on Blowfin and hit the 0.31. I know on most exchanges we did not hit this area. It happened very quickly. Luckily, I was trading on Blowfin, but I didn't manage to get filled at the top, so I kind of market bought a bit higher up. Nevertheless, I'm still long and strong here. Unfortunately, we did get stopped out on this trade here, but right now we're long again here, and I do believe we're forming some kind of low here. And in my opinion, I do think it's safe to say we're putting in some kind of 1 2 3 4 3 4 again, and right now going up to a fifth wave, because we can see this fourth wave never hit the 0.31. So I'm guessing we have some kind of 1 2 3 4 5. This is actually a pattern that I've seen happening often, that you think first that the third and the fourth wave are in before the fifth wave starts, but then actually the fourth wave is longer, so you can kind of have like a third wave here, then a quick fourth wave here, and then you see some chop, and then price continues to the upside. So that's kind of how I'm having this right now. Hope, guys, I'm not confusing you, but if you guys remember, we've been talking about the 0.31. I really like that the market did correct to the 0.31, because ever since basically we've taken out, since November, basically market has never hit the 0.31, basically the entire move up here. So here we never hit it, then we made a high here, and finally we came down to the 0.31. So it's absolutely insane, guys, how powerful this Fibonacci is. If you're not using the 0.31, I think you're missing out. This is a fib I've created myself. I think this is one of the most powerful Fibonacci tools you can use out there. And I'll show you in a second here if we jump to the Ethereum chart. Ethereum here, another insane trade we took that I showed also live. So this was not only for the VIP members. We took this trade live on stream yesterday inside the Discord. Let me just remove this. So we were looking at the 0.31 here once again, guys. So previously we called this low here live on YouTube. We called this low live in Discord as well. I took from the lows here to the highs basically. So you want the low, want the high. We see Ethereum came down to the 0.31. We entered long here, and then I have been aiming for 4,100. And before that, a few days ago, if you guys remember, we called this low down here, and the idea was we took from the previous lows down here to the highs, and we can see once again Ethereum bottomed exactly at the 0.31. Guys, I've been trading for years, many years. I've never seen this level of accuracy happening so often after each other, basically how price keeps respecting the 0.31 so many times, and how Bitcoin has kept respecting these pitchforks. I think this is a big sign that definitely these algorithms that are ruling these markets have big size, so they definitely play an effect in this market. I'm surprised these videos are not going viral, guys. This is not something you see often, this level of preciseness. So for those who have been following for a while, you definitely know that this is not something you see often, this level of preciseness. So basically called this low here, then we made another high here. We moved the Fib to the other high, but instead of using the lower low, we also moved the Fibonacci up here. And right now we got a very nice long position on Ethereum. So I do expect Ethereum to continue more or less to trend here to the upside. We have a nice correlation with the minus 0.236 and the median line, which is sitting at more or less exactly, let me see here, the exact price. So the exact price, let's say 4,140, I would say. So if we just remove all this for 1 second, just to make the chart clearer, we can come here on the daily time frame. This is the pitchfork we've been having on Ethereum. We've been calling this entire move up ever since down here. We've been calling for this Ethereum move up here, which is sitting at around 4,100. I do expect this to be some kind of strong resistance. So I might open a small short here as a hedge. As I said, for currently I am long here, but I actually would like for a first time to open here a bigger short here, just to hedge myself, because I do think the market could have another pullback. As I said, I do think Bitcoin has bottomed. What we need to pay attention to that Bitcoin could still come down here again before we go to the upside. So right now this price action is hard to predict, even though it is bullish that we have this big wick here, but just be cautious here because you can see a lot of chop before we continue to the upside. And I'll show you exactly why, because if we come here, let's open up an empty Bitcoin chart here. So let's go to Bitcoin, US dollar. Let's, for example, open the Bitcoin index here. So for those who have been following me, guys, I tried to understand yesterday, why did we get this sudden drop here? And it was actually very simple. For those who have been following me, you remember our Elliott wave count has been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys probably remember I've gotten criticized why using this a second wave. People have been telling me that this is basically a second wave here and not this one. But I'll show you exactly why I like this as a second wave. Because if you pull from the second wave here, the Fibonacci all the way up to the third wave. Let me just attach it perfectly here so we can get the preciseness. So if we attach the Fib here exactly to the second wave, and then we attach it all the way up here to the third wave precisely, we can see where did the fourth wave bottom. So this is basically what I talk about in almost all my videos. The fourth waves algorithms, they buy at the 0.31, and where do the algorithms sell? They sell at the minus 0.236. And if we zoom in here, what happened here, guys, on the daily, we can see we hadn't hit this Fib, which we hit it yesterday. We came up here, we never got a daily close below, and the algorithm started dumping. So by no means I'm calling any tops here, guys. All I'm saying is be careful, because right now we are at resistance. But as I mentioned in the past, the 0.31 is a much stronger Fibonacci. I would place a long entry based on this Fib, for example, down here, but I wouldn't place a short based just purely on this Fibonacci up here. So all I'm saying here, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some type of consolidation here on Bitcoin before we break to the upside. Nevertheless, we see heavy resistance here on Bitcoin, and Ethereum is about to hit this median line. So you know, guys, I'm extremely bullish overall on the market. I do believe we're going to go much higher. All I'm saying, be cautious here, because I saw some people got liquidated yesterday on this move to the downside. We have to understand that we're in a bull market, but just to see weeks like this is normal. It's normal to see this type of moves, especially after such a strong rally. If you look into the previous bull market, there's plenty of moves, impulsive moves to the downside. So make sure, guys, you manage your risk. So I'm kind of calling for some kind of pullback here. I'm waiting for Ethereum to hit 4,100. Once we hit it there on the daily, I do expect some kind of pullback to happen, and that would also correlate, because it doesn't look like Bitcoin is going to climb above the minus 0.236, which is sitting at exactly. So ideally would like to see a weekly close above this level. So once you see a weekly close above 101,000, So far it does look unlikely, so I can expect once Ethereum hits the resistance level, we could see for Bitcoin maybe to pull back lower. Hopefully the lows are in and then we can continue to the upside, but of course guys, I'll keep you updated. So far guys, this market has been absolutely crazy. The level of accuracy we've been predicting this market, you can see here inside the free Discord. Basically we called the low here yesterday. I said when we got the impulsive drop, I said I'm calling the bottom here for Bitcoin. Here we can see again how this median line played out perfectly, just as we basically predicted it once we hit this median. Of course guys, I could not predict such an impulsive move, but nevertheless you need to pay attention to these median lines, because algorithms are always the ones that they're first to buy. As we can see, the bot down here and then the sold down up there. Exactly similar on Ethereum. We can see here basically we also called the drop in Ethereum previously. We could see from the 0.31 it went up to the minus 0.236, then we had the pullback down to our second 0.31. We caught the low, and right now Ethereum is going to the upside. So guys, I hope I don't confuse you with too much information. I'll be live later today in the Discord where we'll cover Solana, we'll cover some altcoins and so on. I really hope you guys find value in these videos. I try to keep you ahead of the market, even though when we get these very impulsive moves, I can only update as much as once a day here on YouTube, but I do post more updates inside the Discord. So make sure you join the Discord here. As for now, I still remain bullish here. I still think this is some type of fourth wave we're in here. So maybe some more chop here, but sooner or later I do expect Bitcoin to break to the upside. So thank you so much for watching. Please guys, make sure to smash the likes on this video, and I'll see you again guys tomorrow.